Vincent retrieves a bag of someone else's urine from the fridge, secures it to his thigh with zip ties, injects a syringe of blood into a prosthetic fingertip and attaches it to his hand with glue. Dressed in a sharp outfit, he arrives at the company as the chief pilot, Vincent. As usual, the blood sample needle is inserted into the fingertip. The blood test comes back normal and he passes the first checkpoint. During the physical examination, he discreetly squeezes the pre-prepared urine into a plastic cup while the doctor is not looking. The urine test is also normal, allowing him to pass the second checkpoint. In the future world, people are divided into two categories: the flawed and the perfect. Those born through natural childbirth are considered flawed. Within seconds of birth, one's future cause and time of death can be determined. Vincent has a 99% chance of heart disease, with a life expectancy of 30.2 years, even including the decimal. This level of technological precision is undeniable. Upon hearing of such inferior genetics, his father refuses to allow Vincent to carry his surname. Being a flawed individual, even insurance companies refuse to cover him. Children born through genetic modification are deemed perfect, possessing superior appearances, stronger physiques, higher intelligence, and longer lifespans, among other advantages. Desiring a perfect child, Vincent's parents have another son. As the perfect brother, he captures all of their love. The brothers' favorite game is to test their courage by jumping into the sea to see who can swim farther. But Vincent always loses. Vincent has harbored dreams of space exploration since childhood, but his father tells him that
the only way that you'll see the inside of a spaceship is if you were cleaning it.
no matter how convincingly one can falsify a resume, the true record is written in one's cells, and space agencies will never give a chance to the flawed. The sight of the urine test cup fills Vincent with dread, yet he refuses to accept his fate. During a swimming race, he not only wins but also saves his nearly drowning brother, believing that there is always an alternative. At 18, he tears up his photo and leaves home to pursue his dream, applying for a janitorial position at the space agency, where flawed individuals can only aspire to be janitors. No matter how much he trains his body or how proficient his expertise becomes, he cannot overcome the genetic barrier, leading him to consider unconventional methods. With the help of a businessman, he meets Jerome, a perfect individual and former swimming champion, who became disabled due to a suicide attempt, following a devastating loss that only earned him a silver medal. The accident happened abroad, so there are no domestic records of his injury. Vincent can use Jerome's identity to enter the space agency, switching to contact lenses and grinding his teeth where they don't match. After a thorough makeover, Vincent bears a resemblance to Jerome. The only remaining issue is their height difference of 9 centimeters, which can only be resolved through a painful leg lengthening surgery.
I won't do that.
To ensure Vincent passes the interview smoothly, Jerome not only prepares enough blood but also a fridge full of urine. With Jerome's urine strapped to his thigh, Vincent attends the space agency interview, passing the urine test successfully.
Congratulations.
What about the interview?
That was it.
To avoid detection as a flawed individual, Vincent diligently removes all traces of skin flakes, nails, and hair from his body daily, while Jerome collects his own biological materials. After using the keyboard, Vincent meticulously cleans it of any personal traces and sprinkles some of Jerome's material on it, even going so far as to place a bent hair on the edge of the desk. Vincent's solid theoretical knowledge, coupled with his assumed superior genetics, enables him to quickly rise through the ranks. One day, his superiors inform him that he will be going to space in a week. While he is elated by the news, an unexpected incident occurs in the office. A supervisor is murdered. Vincent, out of curiosity, approaches the scene and accidentally drops an eyelash on the windowsill. To gather evidence, the police vacuum up everything in the vicinity of the office, including Vincent's eyelash. Analysis of the eyelash leads the police to Vincent, a flawed individual and cleaner who disappeared 5 years ago, making him the prime suspect. In their haste to apprehend Vincent, the police circulate his photo on all company computers, causing him great fear of being caught. Disheartened, he returns home and disposes of all the samples. Jerome berates him for being a coward, urging him to face the situation bravely, insisting that no one would suspect a perfect individual. Vincent agrees, albeit with reservations. Vincent has a female admirer at the company, and they attend a concert together one evening. On their way back, they encounter a police checkpoint. Vincent quickly removes his contact lenses and claims his mouth is contaminated to avoid a saliva test, forcing the police to opt for a blood test instead, which he passes without issue. The woman wants to show Vincent something, but without his glasses he can barely see. Hearing her call from across the street, Vincent risks exposure of his true identity by bravely crossing the road, fortunately without incident. Vincent casually hands his used cup to a cleaner, which the police soon collect. The DNA from the cup matches the eyelash, indicating that the person in question is no longer a cleaner but an astronaut using a false identity. The police suggest a venous blood test, as urine and cheek swabs can be falsified. Fortunately, Vincent is prepared and devises a plan to evade the blood test. He conceals a syringe of someone else's blood in his hand and, in the midst of the commotion during the blood draw, quickly swaps it with the prepared sample, successfully substituting his blood with someone else's. While dancing with the woman that night, the police arrive to inspect everyone present. Vincent hurriedly escapes with her through the back door, confronting and overpowering the police who try to stop them, raising the woman's suspicions about Vincent's identity. The following day, the police returned to the company to verify Vincent's identity once more. The woman, having found out, urgently advises Vincent to go home. Undeterred, the police decide to visit his home. Jerome, who is collecting skin flakes in the basement, receives the news and struggles up the stairs in his wheelchair. Jerome barely reaches the ground floor, quickly cleans himself off and positions his legs in a manner resembling a normal sitting posture. When the woman approaches to introduce herself, Jerome is momentarily taken aback but quickly plays along. The police immediately proceed with a venous blood draw upon arrival, and the results show everything is normal. Frustrated yet compelled to leave when they receive news that the real culprit has been caught at the station, the police hastily depart, allowing Vincent to emerge from the basement. The real perpetrator turns out to be a company executive. The opportunity for this particular space launch occurs only once every 70 years, and he wanted to witness the spacecraft's launch within his lifetime. However, the supervisor wanted to delay the event, which would mean waiting another 70 years. Unwilling to wait, the executive killed the supervisor. The police are reluctant to accept this reality, especially since the astronaut they had been suspecting is actually the officer's brother, who had run away from home years ago. He struggles to believe that his brother, considered flawed, not only lived past 30 but also became a distinguished astronaut.
Is that the only way you can succeed, is to see me fail? God, even you are gonna tell me what I can and can't do now? In case you haven't noticed, I don't need any rescuing. But you did once. Well, you've got all the answers. How do you explain that?
You didn't beat me that day. So,
Who are you trying to convince?
you want me to prove it to you?
The two brothers return to the sea for another challenge to see who can swim farther. After a strenuous swim, the younger brother starts to falter.
Vincent! How are you doing this, Vincent? You want to know how I did it? I never saved anything for the swim back.
Vincent saves his brother once again. On the day of the launch, Jerome has collected enough blood and urine to last Vincent 2 lifetimes.
I don't know how to thank you.
I got the better end of the deal. I only lent you my body. You lent me your dream.
Jerome gives Vincent a letter, instructing him not to open it until he's about to launch. When Jerome goes to the company for the launch, an unexpected urine test is added, and Vincent, unprepared, is on the verge of failing. But it turns out the doctor had recognized Vincent all along.
Right-handed men don't hold it with their left.
The doctor marks the test as passed. His own son is flawed and harbors dreams of space travel that he cannot fulfill. Helping Vincent reach space is not just about realizing one individual's dream. As Vincent boards the spacecraft, Jerome enters an incinerator, taking with him his medal of shame. As Vincent launches, Jerome turns on the incinerator. Vincent opens the envelope to find a lock of Jerome's hair. Vincent has always disregarded the labels others placed on him. With a firm goal and persistent effort, he believes that all obstacles will eventually give way. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.